Morning, dear students. This is this story, The Last Leaf, we are going to cover today. And this is the seventh chapter from your Moments book. And students, definitely, first of all, I will tell you the introduction of the lesson. Then, after, we will start the explanation again and again, consecutively, different with the different paragraphs, right? So, students, first of all, let me tell you the introduction of this. This lesson, The Last Leaf, right, is a touching story, right, of how a painter inspires a girl to leave and in the process loses his life, right. So as you can see, the outline is given at the in pink colors. It is written on the top just below the title of the lesson. It is autumn, the wind is blowing hard and it is raining heavily. All the leaves on an ivy creeper have fallen except one. So why doesn't the last leaf fall? So means this is the story regarding the last leaf, and we are going to cover it today, right. So students, Sue and John C. As you can see, the first line, Sue and John C., two young artists, shared a small flat. The flat was on the third story of an old house, right. So here means the two girls by the names of Sue and John C. lived together in a small flat, and they were artists, and the flat was on the third floor of an old house, right. So John C. fell very seriously ill in November, and she had a pneumonia. She would lie in her bed without moving, just gazing out of the window. Sue and her friend became very worried. She sent for the doctor. Although he came every day, there was no change in John C.'s condition, right. So pneumonia, students, especially the pneumonia is a disease caused due to the infection of the lungs, right. And gazing means looking, right. So here you can see the two meanings, pneumonia, and second meaning that he was moving and just the gazing out the window, right. So gazing means looking, and pneumonia is a kind of disease here, right. So even in the month of November, John C. was struck by pneumonia, and she remained in bed and would look out of the window. She was worried about John C. and called the doctor, and the doctor visited them daily, but there was no improvement in John C.'s health, right. One day, doctor took Sue aside and asked her, "Is anything worrying John C.?" "No," replied Sue. "But why do you ask?" The doctor said, "John C., it seems she has made up her mind that she is not going to go get well. If she doesn't want to leave, medicines will not help her." Right? Sue tried her best to make John C. take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes and fashions, but John C. did not respond. John C. continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into John C.'s room and started painting to take John C.'s mind off her illness. She whistled while working. Right? So, what one day the doctor said, the doctor secretly asked Sue if something was the matter with the John C., and the Sue replied in negative, and asked the doctor the reason why he was saying so. So the doctor said that it seemed that John C. has decided that she is not going to leave. She did not want to recover from the illness, and in such a case, medicine will not work, right? And from that time, Sue tried to liven up John C., and she discussed interesting things like clothes and fashions with her, but John C. remained unaffected. She lay in a bed. Sue sat beside her and started painting in order to create interest in her and take her mind off her illness. Sue would whistle at times to brighten up John C. And means everything was going very well, but if John C. is not willing to leave, then what it can be done, right? And suddenly, Sue heard John C. whisper something. She quickly rushed to the bed and heard John C. continuing backwards. She was looking out of the window and was saying 12. After some time, she whispered 11, then 10, then 9, then 8, 7. Sue anxiously looked out of the window. She saw an old ivy creeper Climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite their window, in strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. Right? And so here that Johnsy was speaking softly. Johnsy was making a backward counting while looking out of the window. And when Sue was curious and looked outside, she saw an evil creature plant beside window of the room. As strong winds were blowing, the leaves of the creeper were falling. So, what is dear? Sue asked. 6, whispered Johnsy. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago there was almost 100 leaves. They are only 5 left now. It is autumn, said Sue, and leaves will fall. When the last leaf will fall, I will die, said Johnsy with the finality. I have known this for the last 3 days. Oh, it's nonsense, replied Sue. What have old evil leaves to do with your getting well? The doctor is confident that you will get better. Johnsy did not say anything. Sue went and brought her a bowl of soup. I don't want any soup, said Johnsy. I am not hungry. Now there are only 4 leaves left. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I will sleep forever. So Sue asked the reason of counting, why she was making a backward counting. So Johnsy said 6, and then she said that the leaves were falling faster. And she added that 3 days ago there were a lot of leaves on the ivy creeper, and almost 100 approximately, but only 5 were left right now. And Sue replied that the season was autumn season, so it was natural for the creepers to shed its leaves. Then Johnsy said she would die when the last leaf fell, and she added that she had known this for the last 3 days. And Sue replied that it did not make any sense. The leaves had nothing to do with her health. The doctor was sure that she would recover. And Johnsy remained quiet. She got a bowl of soup for Johnsy. And Johnsy did not accept the soup. She was not hungry. Then she said that 4 leaves were remaining on the ivy plant. She wanted to see the last leaf fall before sunset, and then she could die peacefully. Sue sat on Johnsy's bed, kissed her, and said, You are not going to die. I can draw the curtain, for I need the light. I want to finish the painting and get some money for us. Please, my dear. My friend, she begged Johnsy, promise not to look out of the window while I paint. So Sue tried to show affection towards Johnsy, and she said that Johnsy would not die. She kept the curtain open because she needed the light to complete the painting. She would sell it to fetch money for them, and Sue requested Johnsy not to look out of the window. All right, said Johnsy, finish your painting soon, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I am tired of waiting. I have to die, so let me go away peacefully like one of those poor tired leaves. Try to sleep, said Sue. I have to paint an old miner. I will call Behrman up to be my model. She rushed down. Behrman lived on the ground floor. He was a 60 years old painter. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had remained a dream. Sue poured out her worries to Behrman. She told him how Johnsy was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fell. And is she stupid? Asked Behrman. How can she be so foolish? She is running a high temperature, complained Sue. She refuses to eat, drink, and that worries me a lot. Right? So, Sue said, all right, said Johnsy, finish your painting soon. I want to see the last leaf fell, and I am tired of waiting. Right? So here, Johnsy agreed and asked Sue to finish the painting so that she could be in time to see the last leaf. And off from the ivy plant, she was tired of waiting to see it fail, and she wanted to die and was tired just like the poor tired ivy leaves. And Sue asked her to try to get some sleep, as she had to paint an old miner. She would call upon their neighbor Behrman to be a model for her, and she rushed down. Behrman lived on the ground floor. She went downstairs to the ground floor of the house where Behrman lived, and Behrman was a 60 years old painter. He aspired to paint a masterpiece, and Sue discussed Johnson's condition with him. She said that Johnson was sure that she would die when the last leaf fell of the ivy plant, and Behrman commented that Johnson was being silly. And Sue said that Johnson was suffering from high fever. She was not eating too, so Sue was very worried about her. So dear student, that was the first part, and I think the explanation will definitely will be clear out to you. Further, if you are getting any problem, then you are free to ask inside the class group. And my dear students, again and again, just have watch this video and revise and write down the hard words you will face inside the paragraphs, right? So dear students, we will meet in the next segment. Up to the time, thank you, have a nice day.